Flora and Ulysses, which is a terrible name for a family movie because this movie is aimed at like 8 to 10 year olds, maybe even younger, and I can't imagine them pronouncing the name Ulysses very well. But all right, um, from the trailers, this movie looked just kind of like you could see how this movie could not be very good. You can kind of see it's kind of so. It looks kind of like who would greenlight this, but when you actually sit down and watch it, it's not that bad. It's not a good movie. It's just a bland, safe family movie that has a little bit of edge to it where there are some things that are amusing and like not safe in the sense like, oh, this is a little bit different, but then it just goes right back to being the safe family movie. um, since this is a film owned this is a Disney film and we're dealing with a squirrel that has superpowers, they're going to be making a lot of Marvel references, which those are fun, but like they're not, references don't make a good movie. But I'm just saying they were amusing in it, and I enjoyed watching those parts of the movie. And I think if you're a Marvel fan, you might want to, or if you are a parent and has younger kids who are like into Marvel and stuff, you could show them this. It's fine. I did enjoy the creator of the new DuckTales. He had a cameo at the beginning of this movie where he owns like a comic book shop, and that was a very funny cameo. He's actually like reading a DuckTales comic. That was a great cameo. And that's what I mean by that. There's some really good humor in this, like in certain parts of the movie, but it's so few and far between that it's actually worthless. I mean, this is just a safe, bland family movie with a really bad concept. Wow, a squirrel that has superpowers. I mean, it's the only thing that I really like about this concept is that the squirrel does not talk. It's such a cliche in kids movies that the animal has to talk, and then and they always follow these tropes of how the animal should talk and what they should say. Oh, the dog makes jokes about butts or poop or his butt or whatever. Whatever joke that you would expect in a family movie like this. And it's just, it's a very formulaic family movie. And I think there's so many people who just give it pass for that. I don't give movies passes for that because, first of all, number one, we're going for a company this is a company, Disney, that has money to make more risky and better content than they do, but they don't. You know, they are a company that could afford to take risks more than any other company on planet Earth, in terms of making films and TV shows. And so this shows, oh, we're not gonna do risk. Fine. Well, then screw you because you can afford to do it. I'm not saying everything they should do should be a risk because obviously no company is like that. But every once in a while they should take risk, especially on a platform like Disney Plus where there's less consequences for them taking risk. Like if you were to release a risky film like this in a theater, it would fail. But you're putting it on Disney Plus, you can try different things, but they don't. And then the other part of it is, oh, it's a family movie. Cool. There are great family movies out there that take plenty of risk. And this is not. We're not gonna sit there and go, oh, this one just because it's a family movie, it gets a pass. No, we're not gonna do that because it's not a good way of thinking. It's terrible. And so I think this movie is not horrible, but it's not very good either. It's just safe. And I'm not knocking a family movie for just being way too safe and formulaic. I'm knocking it because it's just bland and it's not interesting. And sure, you could argue It's not made for me. It's made for families and little kids. Cool. I enjoy plenty of movies that aren't made for me. It's just a matter of just making a good movie in general. That's how it works. Um, Target demographic doesn't mean anything. It's just this is the intended audience, but the intended audience isn't always the one that gives the product life. So, but yeah, like I said, it's not horrible. I think a lot of people from the trailers were like, "What the hell is this? It looks pretty bad." And I will say it's not bad. It's just meh. And there's some mild intrigue with the Marvel references, DuckTales creator cameo that brought a smile to my face as a DuckTales fan. I've been reviewing the newer DuckTales reboot, and I'll probably be talking about the original at some point. But that brought a smile to my face. I really enjoyed seeing that, but it's just overall meh 5 out of 10 movie.